Okay, I'm going to demonstrate the GCvideo-DVI, which is a pretty new concept made by Unseen over at GC Forever. It runs on a Pluto 2X HDMI board, which is right there, with some craziness, soldering wires everywhere. Yeah, but it's in there. And a fiber optic out for digital audio. So I tried every single TV in my house. I did not get this thing to work at all. I thought it was broken. I tried to ask Unseen for help. He pointed me over to a couple of adapters that I tried. Nothing worked. I got a component or an HDMI to component setup adapter. Didn't work. It did work to some extent, but the picture looked like shit. So what I got here, this setup I got here now, is my final setup, and what it is a monitor, computer monitor. And this, so far, this is like the only thing I can get this thing to run on. I wish it was bigger, but for now it's fine. I will get something bigger in the future, but let's see. I turn it on. Okay, we got the quo screen, and that up there, the resolution, that is not my monitor. That is the Pluto board. Up there, see it again, and there's progressive mode. I'll put yes for progressive. There we go. We got Twilight Princess in, just for a demonstration. All the sound you're going to be hearing is all digital from the Pluto board. Sorry for the glare, but it's my phone. It's really hard to tell the picture quality, but it's really good. There's no stutter, there's no cracks, there's nothing. It's perfect almost. I say almost because I'm not using it on my TV. But the sound is amazing. I have a wireless subwoofer for this soundbar here. It's over there in the corner. But you can't really hear it because of the phone, but it's so much better. I mean, this is a really cool setup. This is like, the coolest thing I've done since the Wasp Fusion on my Gamecube. And just to show you, I'm gonna turn it off. Turn it back on. To the quote screen. I'm going to go to the menu. Okay, let's boot the original BIOS. Yeah, sorry, I'm a smoker. Okay. So, why I did this, because I want to show you the on-screen menu. And the best way to do this is be in the calendar time setup screen. Why? Because when you go into the menu, the on-screen menu, the inputs for the controller are still live. So what you do is you hold down LR and X and Y. So just give me 1 second, I gotta do that. Okay, so this is what happens when you hold down LR, X, and Y. You get a menu. Now in this menu, you can turn on line doubler and scan lines. Why the hell would you want line doubler on? Well, because my display will not show the 480i through the HDMI cable without this line doubler on, and I'll show you. I'm going to turn it off. Okay, you see that? I can't get no picture. Now I'm going to turn it back on. Okay, so that's what happens in my display. Now this could have to be different for you, but in my case, you have to have line doubler on 480i to project the picture. And in these settings, you can do other things. You can allow 480p mode. I don't see no reason why you want to turn that off. And RGB limited range. I can't really explain what that does. It's about computer and consumer signals. I don't know. I don't mess with these settings. You can view all the modes. 240p, 288p, 480i, 576i, and 480p and 576p, which the 576 is only used for PAL, so I have absolutely no reason to use that. But this is really cool. There's the GCvideo-DVI about screen. I mean, this is just amazing. It also shows you the input, what it's getting from the GameCube, and what's the output. So yeah, that's like the GCvideo-DVI. I'll go more in depth with it when I test some more stuff. I'm just really using it right now to play Twilight Princess, which is amazing. I'm like halfway through it. Well, almost halfway through it. It's just utterly amazing, the picture quality. I do have a Nintendo component cable, which I did have a Nintendo component cable. I could say it's right on par with the component cable, if not better. And I actually sold my component cable so I can actually get the Pluto board and the monitor and everything else I needed to get this project done. I already had a programmer, thank God, but all in all, this costed me a good amount of money. But it was a really fun project, and it showed one thing: I was able to do it. So there will be other clone devices coming out. There is this one. There is another project. Let's get this. There is another project called GCvideo Lite. Now, GCvideo Lite is much better if you're trying to use this on a TV, because the GCvideo Lite outputs component signals, which are obviously used for TVs. The DVI is a DVI signal over an HDMI signal, and is the reason why I've had so many problems with getting it to work on a TV. So, you know, I have tried the GCvideo Lite project. You must build it from ground up, meaning you must go to the PCB maker and get it made blank boards, bare bone boards, and build them all yourself. You got to put the chips on, you got to solder them down, you got to program it yourself, you got to do everything. I did do it. It did not turn out very well. I was able to build one board. I was able to install it, but unfortunately, when I try to use it, it has lines and cutting out picture. I don't know what I did wrong, so I just basically threw it against the wall and said fuck it, and I haven't tried to keep doing it ever since. That was about 6-7 months ago. So this was a great alternative. I didn't have to build anything. I just had to flash it and install it and use it. I just didn't know that it was so incompatible with TVs. But there is another project I think is coming out soon. It's going to be made by Megalomaniac on his badassconsoles.com site. I don't know any details of it. I do know that he's making something. It will probably be plug and play and very easy to use. So if you guys want to wait for something, You know, for these clone component devices, I would suggest that if you don't have any good soldering skills, you probably should wait, and you'll probably be happy if you waited. You know, whatever it is, it'll probably be under $100, and you know, it'll be a lot cheaper than going out and buying a component cable. So that is the GCvideo-DVI.